Honestly, the two of you hooking up to somehow get at me was the most hilarious part. As you ended up punishing each other more than I ever could have. You girls were toxic as fuck. I didn't even have to yell at you. Shout out to Toxic Yuri, solving problems one day at a time. Can we talk politics again? Why does my niece call you baby girl? Can we talk politics again? Hey gamers! Welcome back to some more Heaven Will Be Mine. I don't remember if I did comms last time. Maybe I saved it. Let's check. I think I saved these for when I started up again. So, let's go talk to the MILF who hates us. Excited to be out in the field again, doing important work. We're a long way out from anything important out here. I can't help but notice. You think Command wants you as far away from them as they can get you? What makes you think that? That you said it? That Command is my ex? And that I did once double-cross Memorial Foundation? In that case, you should be happy you're in the field at all, and not in a brig or in the process of being shipped back to Earth. You love Europa being all Command, as if it's not her brat niece. Good! We love a little nepotism in our sci-fi, because it's everywhere. Well, I am. So I'm so thankful I don't need to be lied to about my work being important. Oh, I would never lie about a thing like that. In fact, our most lovely sixth planet of their solar system, Cronus, has become extremely busy in the past 24 hours. A major leak out of celestial mechanics has revealed they're finishing a prototype here, and Cradle's Graces knows about it too. Apparently, the Hellion responsible for the leak has stolen it too. You're just the woman for the job. Reining in incorrigible pilots is your specialty. Let's see if that power can be used for good. For once. Our beloved Hellion. The best brat in the solar system. Europa, please leave some of me left to fight the enemy. Don't shoot me down before the mission starts. Was I too mean? I would prefer direct combat any day. Well, let me tell you something nice then. That Cradle's Grace's super weapon, your favorite, has been spotted in the system. Right, because I already dealt with Pluto. Was this supposed to be before the other one and they swapped? Yeah. My favorite? What do you mean? Don't play dumb. You make that same face whenever Crune Macula is spotted. It's the biggest mystery of their side, and one of the only reasons Cradle's Graces hasn't collapsed by now. It makes more sense with Saturn first, but still not quite. Yuck, but if you do Saturn first, then you meet Saturn, and then she's talking about Saturn. It's weird either way, isn't it? That's interesting. The Crone Macula's power is unreal. It's far stronger than in reality than anything that could possibly have been projected from its original schematics. Its capabilities seem endless and impossible to predict or counter. And no one knows who the pilot is. The list of people who could pilot something like that is very short, however. LT, external. My favorite, LT, internal. Pluto? 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 My beloved Pluto? Pluto? Sorry, Pluto? Sorry, Pluto? It doesn't work. It doesn't work like pop. Ugh. Maybe it's someone you know? Worried I might double-cross you again. I'm not with Cradle's Graces anymore for a reason. Oh, I just never trust you when girls are involved. Luna-Terra stands for lesbian terrific. Lesbian transgender, but still. Wait, I said Luna-Terra, not LT. God damn. LT stands for lesbian transgender. There we go, I did the bit. Hi, Lorelai! Oh, okay. Calls you a useless lesbian and then just shuts off the chat. I see how it is. God. Subject: first generation pilot candidate interviews. Leaked data packets. Space program intake archives. Why do you want to go to space? I want a new start. In what sense? To get rid of this weight. We are required to make it clear that the purpose of the program is not to leave Earth, but to expand it. The weight will follow you. But will it weigh differently? Please explain what you mean about what you said previously. About what? What do you mean when you say you don't want to be me? I don't know how else to say it. Isn't it obvious? Who would want to be this? I don't understand what you see is wrong with you. I do. Aha, you are saying that you, as you are, the person who you are, doesn't want to be you. Yes. Then you aren't that person. But this person weighs on me. So you would like to have the weight of being this other person that you are not. You would like that removed. Yes, please. That may be possible. Oh, LT. She's so transgender. She's so trans, it's hitting me in the head with hammers. Pilot program progress. Memorial Foundation Executive Committee Annual Report. Author, Training Director, Europa. The Cold War is looking bleak. The threat from space is more flimsy, translucent, and inscrutable when once it was so strong that all of humanity feared it. Existential threats on Earth are more pernicious than ever, and the Scouts are not keeping up. It has become difficult to argue against the possibility that the Scouting program has done more harm than good, and that goes just as much, if not more, for the pilot program. Historically, death has always invited the enemy here in its greatest strength. Humans can't resist killing each other long enough to protect themselves from the existential threat. It is easy to make this argument, but we have had little success with it. No matter how celebrated the slogan is, and no matter how many governments and leaders profess to live by it, the simple fact remains. The existential threat can never be as powerful as we are. Humans will always pose a greater threat to other humans than the existential threats will. It will always be easier for humanity to eliminate the threat by killing their own than by fighting the threat directly. While we have offered children and the unwanted to fight the existential threat with existential intent, humanity has turned its gaze inward rather than to the heavens. Not even strong enough to pierce the atmosphere without burning, the existential threat can no longer be labeled as such. For these reasons, we accept the decision to decommission the Memorial Foundation space program. First to trans in space. Good for her! Let's go hang out with Saturn, shall we? We give it a good go. Rip us, I guess. Yeah. It's brat time. I miss Saturn so much. Whoa, okay. That was a little loud. Objective in sight. Opening channel to base. Captain, I'm bored. Captain, this sucks. Well, you heard them, Europa. It's really good. It is very loud in my ears. Is it loud for everyone? Tell those idiots to be careful for what they wish for, because the mission parameters have changed. As you know, Celestial Mechanics has been operating a clandestine ship self-development lab with an experimental prototype in violation of the terms of the Memorial Foundation Space Program Decommission Treaty. It's a bit loud? Okay. Yeah. Oop. And we are on a top-secret surprise attack to take out the last operational shipyard and make sure we never have to find out what Celestial Mechanics has been planning to do with it. It couldn't be more obvious what happened, but go ahead and brief me anyway. No points for guessing. The prototype's already launched, rendering most of the base inoperable. We lost contact almost instantly. Pinterest, don't send me emails. I'm busy. Find it before it leaves Cronus's gravitational field. Ah, great. What a pain. Weren't you just bored? There's no way to find it. It's as good as gone. There's a chance that the ship itself is still nearby, so get to work. These guys. Pinterest said be like new Zoe outfit dropped. No, it's Violet now. I Violet pilled it. It actually isn't giving me real emails. It's giving me like, hey, this is Pinterest. Yeah, this is Bravo. Evade now. Wait, Bravo. Evade now. Now. Zoe to Violet transgender website. It's so true. Me going from summer to fall. I've got nothing, Cap. Bubblegum pink electricity sparks off the ice and dust of the inner ring like a lightning bolt, and through his ship self, he doesn't get even the slightest chance. I love how he got fucking, am I allowed to say Mommy Tomoed? Luna-Terra like dodge dipshit, and they pause to question her instincts instead of doing what they're told. Shakes head. To be fair, they weren't expecting the lightning. The poison lightning. God, the string of pearls is so sexy. He doesn't get even the slightest chance. These dudes play a vital role in the story, showing that Saturn saying boys can't pilot to Mercury was just her being an asshole for no reason. That's not true, because apparently boys can't pilot extends to boys not being resistant to slashing and electric damage. Aphrodisiac lube zaps. God, I wish that were me. Captain Mayday. Don't listen, and you don't have any right to complain. Right, Europa? Girl, I think you might be traumatized. What a callous attitude you have. Who did you learn that from? The best. Preparing to engage. Asshole, good, to be clear. Yeah. Pleasantly, like, licking a battery with your whole body. Asshole, good. But not like that. Are we sure? No, I think the first take was perfect, actually. I wish Europa would stop sending me boys who can't control themselves. Having fun dismantling my escorts. With the string of pearls fingers, Saturn carefully peels the mechanical musculature out of the poor ship's arm she's holding. A souvenir of the last Luna-Terra's escorts that she sent crying too easily back to their base. Saturn's just like, all my holes are good, actually. Yeah, she's a brat. It's still sparking and oozing, and Saturn wishes her ship had a mouth so she could suck it out like crab meat. It's so good that we see the people before this happens this time. Maybe it does have a mouth. The machine has many mysteries the manual doesn't explain, and Saturn is still learning them. Mech meat. Oh god, Calliope's... Yeah, I was gonna say, Calliope's gonna try and eat a mech, I'm pretty sure. She is gross and visceral. She's perfect. The string of pearls could only be better if it, like, drank other mech's blood. Though I suppose Europa's learned her lesson about sending me girls who can't control themselves. Oh, really? That's really interesting. Mind telling me more? Oh, is that Saturn reading the narrative? Oh, she's a hacker too. How amusing. There's nothing too interesting on this calm frequency. Aw, you flatter me. But hey, what did that mean exactly? The part about girls who can't control themselves? I really want to hear more. Oh, I absolutely need to play Meat Punks. Yeah. No, Meat Punks is like been on my radar for a very long time. I live in indie tabletop world, so yeah. Meat Punks has been like something in the background of my head for a very long time. Heather Flowers actually just released a new game too. It's like Vampire Survivors, but you're shooting giant snakes. I retweeted it. I retweet a lot of things. This is the problem. It's called Snake Farm. Oil is life, life is money, money is death. Fight snakes, sell their oil, upgrade your gear, buy more snakes, die. But yes, I need to play Meat Punks at some point. It's very up my alley. Go check out Snake Farm. Yeah, I definitely do have it. I think I have 1 and 2, and maybe the tabletop game, but don't quote me on that. And like, yeah, no, I know it's queer indie in the best way. It's like that, except you're a guy and you've got a gun. So it's like more Vampire Survivors, but if you were Vampire Survivors in Snake.io, it means to back up that talk first. Or can you land a hit off the comms? Luna-Terra's gravitational field focuses to a single point. Luna-Terra isn't budging. She's been through much worse, and so has her ship. Followed always by a thin trail from a bleeding wound she could never completely repair. The mare Chrysium is over 2 decades old, but Saturn can't even land a hit. It's regal and stiff, dressed in cold metallics, weathered and refurbished. The archetypal prototype for all other ship selves, still going after all these years. Still furiously untouchable. The string of pearls hasn't gone down no matter how much she's been rammed with that spear, but she hasn't even nicked Luna-Terra's ship once. When did Luna-Terra first get in the Chrysium? Do we, like, besides 20 years ago, like, how old was she? Do we know? Not bad at all for a joyride, but you can't get one hit in? Good thing you don't win by looking cool. That's absolutely a lie, Saturn. No mercy for newbies. No. Luna-Terra puts a stake of solid light through the string of pearl's leg, pins it to its own gauze wrapper. Late teens? Yeah, that makes sense then. So, you know, she's late 30s then? Almost 40, if not 40? Okay, that makes sense. And Saturn's like mid-20s? And then Pluto would be a little bit older. It doesn't hurt at all. The ship's metals begin molding and reforming around the wound immediately. A ridiculous, unfair advantage. Saturn has no right to complain, but she still wants to. This brat! But she's trying to be cool. Everyone wants to, when in the quiet gleam in the always bleeding ship. That's a pretty amazing ship. Think it will last? Either you're fighting just for fun, or because you're that reckless, or you're caught in your own containment wrapper and can't escape orbit yet. And you'd beat me for sure if I played around. I'm not done yet. That's not true. It's actually very difficult to move with a solid light bullet in your leg. But she's not going to let that stop her. Calamine would absolutely be complaining and whining. Saturn is suddenly closer than she logically could be, claws bubbling, but Luna-Terra effortlessly slips away and kicks kicks Saturn's ship directly in the chest. She's earned the right to complain. Yeah, you're done. The containment wrapper is still stuck to you, so your movement's off. Doesn't seem to have stopped you that much. Right, it was so rude of them to try and stop me. It seems cruel to take it away when you're having so much fun. Having so much fun with it. Got Saturn right in the OTP. Same as you, right? Do I know you? Everyone knows the Memorial Foundation's perfect ace. Hallie actually loves complaining and getting fucked up. Oh, okay. If the Hallie posting will be at a max today, I am excited to receive it. But do I know you? So I do I? Let me out of this thing and I'll tell you. Why should I? Because you can't help yourself. Besides, don't you want a real fight? Can you promise it'll go different? I can promise it'll be more fun. You're asking me to totally abandon my duty to bring you back and do that instead? What, you won't? The legendary pilot who defected from Memorial Foundation and double-crossed the rebels she abandoned for them can't be opposed to a little fooling around with the enemy. Was Firebrands inspired by this too? Cause it's 3 factions. I guess that's like the fun number, but what if Char was a 6-1 trans woman, the smartest brain geniuses of all time? Char is the 6-1 trans woman. Char transitions to have, I can't even make that joke. I can't make Quattro jokes. It's so hard for me to fucking, I can't say Vagina with a straight face. The Halloween Twitter account's been getting some heat today because the Chaser post left the usual orbit. I love the usual orbit of Heaven Will Be Mine fans. Like, the... just, like, orbit feels so much, like, so fitting for this game. In a way. Nothing's wrong with the name Quattro Vagina, I just can't say it and not, like, go insane. Yeah, it's a normal name, alright. Hey, you know what's a normal name? Never Once More. The thing about Heaven Will Be Mine is that while it's very good, it's also awakened an insatiable lust for mechs in me, as it should. This game should make you want to fuck robots. The legendary pilot who defected from Memorial Foundation, then double-crossed the rebels she abandoned them for, can't be opposed to a little fooling around with the enemy. If you come out of this game not wanting to fuck the mech, what the fuck are you doing with yourself? I guess you do know me. Want to trust each other? Also good and so true from the same person. It's very good in the whatever we currently have going on is more charged than just having sex with BUA. Yeah. Made you go from neutral to mechs obsessed? Good. Good. It is actually so funny the few times I've played 2 or 3 mech games. I've actually run mech games more than I've played... Oh, it's an equal amount of times, but I ran Beam Saber once, I played Beam Saber once, I played Beam Saber twice, actually. And I'm gonna be running Armor Star, starting Sunday. And I've only played a character who has a mech once, but I was playing a sentient robot who was dating her mech. So, you know, big catalyst for you being like, oh, I get it now. Yeah. Well, so the thing I always get, I always say, people get magical girls, right? People don't understand that mechs are exactly the same. You have an idealized body that you can do violence with that protects your squishy human form. And you have to deal with being both of those at the same time. I'm watching Madoka again tomorrow, and I'm very normal about it. I like stories about bodies. Bodies are good. I'm a big body horror fucker. Not a fucker, but like, I love body horror. Which is another reason why I need to play Meat Punks. But like, I just, it's good. Mechs are good. Mechs are so good. We also, okay, the second time I played Beam Saber, I didn't have a mech. I played, character who killed mechs on foot. You'll have never. Fucking weirdo. And then we only have one mech in our Armor Star game, but I have come up with, well, one really good one already. I need to come up with more good mechs to throw at people. She sure tried to. Listen, she definitely cut a couple in half. Just because she almost died every time. Come up with mechs for you to kill. On it, boss. Want to trust each other? Or is it more fun if we don't? They really are. I could fix her, but whatever's wrong with her is way more fun. Legion almost only died twice. Yeah. One of those was during downtime. It's more fun if they do, and Saturn gets embarrassed. You need a mech that's already dead and yet still moving. Yeah, that's fun. How was that? Did it hurt? Oh yeah, Lorelei's character's mech is made of bones. It's just weird. It's weirder that it doesn't hurt. It's easier for Luna-Terra to cut through the malleable flesh of the string of pearls directly than to untangle her from the wrapper. She's holding her so tender. The flesh reforms quickly, so she has to work patiently. String of pearls might be impossible to destroy. Even if Saturn can't land a hit, Luna-Terra feels like somehow she's the one who got lucky. Tender knife play. Oh, don't do this to my brain right now. If just this hurt, you'd never be able to fight. Your brain is giving you more nuanced information. You're very sensitive. Lucky. You'll get used to it. Wow, she really just said I have so much trauma, I feel nothing. If you're serious about next time, think of yourself as something a little bigger. I would love to get more Calliope fic as a present, like a cat leaving me a dead bird. I like that. Being big. I'm glad I trusted you. Stop shaking, Len, or ask me to go easier. just a little easier. The idea that disentangling Saturn is a lot more awkward than just cutting directly into her body. I'm just saying, Saturn is bound and things are happening to her body and she can't do anything about it. It's good. LT checked in. Of course. Oh, of course. Do you remember me? Do you remember me yet? I thought you'd remember the name of at least some of the girls you'd made out with in the supply closets. Whoa! Oh. Your face! Just kidding, but sorry, it was worth it. You weren't kidding about still being dangerous. Good. That was so good. Every pilot knows you, by both of your reputations. You're definitely Saturn, because no one hated me as much as you. So now I'm curious why you don't anymore. If I tell you, you'll owe me extra. So save it for the next time you catch me. Well, I'll just have to catch you again quick. All free. So sweet. Now get out of here before someone catches us. Texting style nicknamed the Ghost for a second reason. Combat style untouchable nicknamed the Ghost. Ever since the day Mars began, Mars has been doomed. No, there will never be a planet Mars. That's a name reserved for places where human life, gravity, and culture reign. This is just bitter Aries, but like the stringy, inedible weeds that grow when nothing else does, Cradle's Graces is dug in and we can't get them out. The colonies are wrecked, but the terraforming engines are broken, the gravity furnaces are out of control. There's no resources left on this planet, no strategic value. This planet doesn't even exist. It's an inert rock. There's no point in fighting. There's no need to fight. Ship selves can't keep you alive alone forever, and even if that was the case, we could leave tomorrow and claim victory. Most of the Memorial Foundation's and SES fleet already did. Now that's why there's barely any of us left and we can't get them out. What, why don't I go home too? And leave all those idiots to go just fucking die on a rock? Who do you think we're doing this for? External communication sent on August 31st, 1978 by Memorial Foundation troops. Hey, it's not like we're idiots. We know we're doomed. This planet still doesn't fulfill the requirements for human life, and life is just the start anyway. Don't you know that gravity is something more important? You do understand celestial mechanics, right? Matter is made up of tiny particles, but enough of it exerts gravity that stitches the universe together. Culture is made of tiny humans, and enough of it together can decide what's real and what isn't. It is really quite fucked up that this is how decisions about humans get made. Enough humans can decide anything, and then it'll be true, even about what's human and what's not. They don't even have to wait for the deadline. They've already decided that any human without their feet planted on the Earth is in fact not a human. That's a pretty unusual thing for humans to do. No differences of any kind need to exist. We'll just be aliens, and then they'll send the real military after us and we'll die. But if we just hold the line here, for our princess to get through and make it to the moon, she'll open up the gravity well, and then we get to decide. Internal communication sent on January 25th, 1981 by Cradle's Graces Irregulars. Mercurium streams. She's good. It's morning on Aries, but what's time in space? If we can get our capital ship launched and refueled, the prototype retrofitted with the final equipment, we'll have everything in place. Keep out of the canyons of Mars, where Cradle's Graces and Memorial Foundation are bickering. Hold the city ruins against invading troops, and make sure no one tries to set the oxygen ocean on fire while we refuel. Cradle's Graces forces are irregulars and the troops of, yeah, ragtag little fucks. Listen, they're good. I'm excited to play Pluto. I don't think I'm gonna get to her today. I'm gonna try and finish, LT, we'll see. We'll see. Might not get all the way through. Far in the distance. It's a pretty thankless job. But me, I can't wait to see what happens. This is the most exciting space has ever been. Before we got here, this is a dead rock, but the best we could have ever hoped for was Earth in a different place. Who needs that? Far in the distance, the moon's gravity well shines. If no one controls it before the deadline is up, Earth will take drastic steps to ensure that humanity is not divided. What they're afraid of is happening, we will ensure that it happens. We'll finally have something alien in space. Private communication sent on January 26, 1981 by a celestial mechanics researcher. Day 3. Receiving report. Alert, report not accepted. 2 errors. Vriska, errors detected. Error 1. A failure to explain why Celestial Mechanics ship self, String of Pearls, was not successfully apprehended. Error 2. A failure to explain why Cradle's Grace's ship self, Krun Macula, was not successfully incapacitated. Please correct errors before proceeding. Resubmit. Warning, no corrections submitted. Force resubmit. Generating new assignments. Penalty assignment, Sniper Duty, Planet Ares, currently held by Cradle's Graces. Oh my god, this is a punishment for her? Purpose, preventing Celestial Mechanics refueling and egress. Penalty assignment, Sniper Duty, Cradle's Graces held Planet Ares. Purpose, top secret, take out Cradle's Graces prototype Krun Macula on research assignment in Cradle's Graces territory. Penalty assignments cannot be refused. Indicate you have understood new orders. Yes. Ready for gravitational catapult. Prepare to launch to inner solar system. Enjoying your missions? More thrilling work than fighting the half-hearted troops left on Ares? Much, much more. I forgot what it was like to work this hard. I'm rusty. Are you unhappy with your progress? I don't know. Are you unhappy? I don't know. It's always been very hard to tell with you, though I'm not sure if I can answer that question better than you. Oh. I had a long day today, so we'll see how long I actually stream. I've known you since you were freshly assigned to the first pilot wave. You are so delicate. And you've only become more delicate, even as you've become stronger. Ugh, stuffy. I didn't, ugh. Where'd her voice go? No! I didn't think you'd describe me back then as delicate. I saw it very clearly, though the other executives thought you were a scrappy pain in the butt. You were just scared. There's no point. There's no point in pretending otherwise. You just see through it. I guess I haven't changed as much as I thought. Long ago, I saw a strong and delicate girl. I have worked hard to make you more and more of that, rather than simply just cultivate your strengths. Understanding your weaknesses is needed to grow. Let me ask you again, and this time focus. Count backwards from 20. Remember a moment of comfort. I'll wait. Are you happy or unhappy? I don't know. Because I feel like I'm on the cusp of something. It's frightening, yet it could be something amazing. That's a real feeling. Good girl. Are you blushing? Anyone would. I feel even more embarrassed than I did back then. Ah, that's an even better feeling to have. Hold on to that one. Subject, Halamede 1. Leaked data packet, second generation pilot candidate interviews. Why me? Well, because you're special. A special kind of child. All children are special. Huh, that's true, they are. I'm not more special than those children. We think you might be. Special how? You're at the top of your class already at such a young age. We can't think that you might be able to do things that other children can't. My sister is better than me at all those things, and my aunt Europa, when she was my age. We think you might be special in a different sort of way. Can you look at the box in front of you? Okay. Pass your hand over the box. Okay. Nothing happened. We're using an instrument to measure something that is very, very small, but moving it even so little that you cannot see it would be very important. How do I do that? You should not just think about it. You should not think about it. Just do it. I can't. I know you can. I can't. Your aunt and your sister could easily do as much, so you can do as much too. Oh, it moved. Did you get that? Yes, I saw it move. Literally saw it. Contact the director immediately. Oh. So if you can actually see it move, that means you're very good. Hallie's like, sorry, I suck and do nothing right until she's taunted with her older relatives being better than her. She's good already. I love her already. Subject, Unified Culture Theory, pre-installed reference material, Memorial Foundation introductory literature. Unified culture theory is a brute forcing of defined solutions for the universe through the forcible elimination of all other possibilities. The theory is attractive to those who desire a beautiful, simple, endlessly complex solution for the universe. In order to develop this theory, there needs to be a solution for the Nix aversion paradox, which demands that anything not human exists in the universe. She got that familial inferiority complex hard. It happens. The most compelling current premise for a unified culture theory under contemporary physical models involves a full integration of all available concepts directed and established in such ways as to maximize benefit for humanity. This theory of everything speaks to the desire to know, understand, and master the universe while also incorporating a premise of universal love. Happiness for everybody, free, and let no one be left behind. Unlike tyrants of old that crushed alternate futures under their heels and only caused the existential enemy to blossom, such a unified theory would welcome and forgive all humanity. Oh. And direct to benefit all things that are and that might yet to be. She got a general inferiority complex hard too. She got a general inferiority complex hard too. Beloved and powerful Princess Pluto versus pathetic figurehead Halamine. I mean, we gotta do a 400mm kiss again. Memorial Foundation deploys a certain sniper to stop, escape, and resupply routes to the resting Celestial Mechanics fleet. All Saturn needs to do is stay out of trouble, but what's the chance of that? Is it the best mission? Who could say? Guard duty in Olympus City. Command is worried the Celestial Mechanics unit might try to escape while the fleet is launching, using the cityscape as cover. And then they've just given up on catching them on Ares if their only hope is them being that stupid. It's a ruined husk, and even Cradle's graces isn't clinging to it like they cling to even the faintest sign of life on Mars. Excuse me, Ares. Well, it's boring, pointless work that no one wants to do, and it's gotta make me wonder if someone's actually mad at me. Time to shoot Saturn through the head. Woo! This too is Yuri. You let the prototype escape Luna-Terra, and the most generous assumption is incompetence, which from you they have a hard time buying. That's not fair. I'm plenty incompetent. They should know that by now. You're only incompetent in the ways you wish to be. That's an awfully profound way to call me lazy. If you were simply lazy, you wouldn't go out of the way to find so much trouble to get in. And that's the reason why this assignment is so disastrous a punishment. I was gonna automatically wish that were me, but it felt it might give off the wrong impression. No, I understand. This is relatable. It has a really good annoyed mom face. This game maybe has Yuri in it. You're not 100% sure, but you have your suspicions. We will find the Yuri together. My Hime Joshi warriors. Ride with me into battle. Warning you is dangerous. I learned that very early on in your career. There's no way to make you sit still. Oh, maybe I'll try it this time. My email Joe warrior. My psionic warriors seal this boo-boo bear within the earth. There's this good sniper spot with a view of the whole city. The fact that I can't actually get run through with Luna-T's spear is so unfair to TBH. Now, I'm not saying mood, but God, I wish that were me. You're so right for this. I won't say same, but same. I won't move from there. Why does it sound less like you're promising to behave? Unfortunately, there are things like blood loss, organs, and other fake concepts keeping us from the dream. Yeah, Saturn's lucky. She's made of plastic. And horny goo. And more like you're going to brag about how much trouble you can get in without even moving. Gotta be a robot first. Either way, they're sure to put me back on the front, right? Saturn gets no scoped by Luna-Terra. Never forgotten, every story told. The balance shifts because Luna-Terra could hold still and Saturn couldn't. Correct for gravity, it's unsettlingly weak. Correct for the cold blue starry daylight of the fragile Ares atmosphere. Sniping from the ruins of the capital spire is like being just an eye and a trigger finger, a thrilling place for Luna-Terra to fight. Correct for the wind, it's skittish and powerless. I'm here for the literal and metaphorical. Have you heard of this game called Heaven Will Be Mine? There's a lot of literal and metaphorical in it. Wait, I think I need to say how I pitched this game to a friend earlier today. I think it's got this fun mix of blatant and subtext that makes it so fun to share with an audience, because if you miss something or interpret it in a new way, you can have a fun discussion about it. Heaven Will Be Mine is a game about ideology, what it means to belong somewhere, and being horny and trans and wanting intimacy. Your notification never went off. Well, you're here now, and that's what matters. Oh, we're gonna shoot a Brad in the head. Correct for gravity, there's still too much of it. Correct for the nuisances of this infant planet that will never be. I thought the horny way was implied, but yeah. You keep finding new pieces to slot together, new angles to consider. Yeah, that's why stuff like this is great. I watched Angel's Egg, this, like, earlier in the week with Lorelai. And that feels like a movie you need to watch like 6 billion times to even begin to understand what the fuck is going on. That was also metaphorical and physical and real and fake and everything at once and fucked up in all the great ways, and everyone should watch that movie because it fucks. Also, the animation is like incredible. You usually have to press that it's the horny way and not the depression way. I mean, it can be both. It's free on YouTube and only 75 minutes. You could, if you're watching this in the future, you could pause this video right now and go watch Angel's Egg. Go ahead, I'll wait. Skirting along the abandoned roads of the city that never was is like being an exposed nerve, a thrilling place for Saturn to fight. I see you. Luna-Terra squeezes the trigger for the 17th time. Oh, that shot noise. The cover couldn't protect the string of pearls from Luna-Terra's eyes, and it sure can't protect her from her trigger finger. Engage reactor. Initiate inertial control. Yeah, the LZ Saturn dynamic really is verse for verse, but they're just like super chaotic about it. Oh god! That's such a good way to show a shot! The slug whips right by Saturn, and that's 7 times dodged. The 4 shrinking holes in her chassis, marching closer to the string of Pearl's heart, mark what happens when she doesn't. Getting shot still sucks. Saturn isn't used to it. That one was so close. That was really, really, really close. Tell me I'm getting better, right? No way, it's just luck. You've gone from getting hit all of the time to getting hit half of the time. That's better, but what you want is to be hit none of the time. Took the description straight from Max Schwartz. Ugh. Don't tell me what I want. Maybe I love being shot. You wouldn't be the first. Wow, weird. You must find some really problematic people. Ugh. Have I mentioned that the Saturn voice is so fucking fun? Some pilots find interesting ways to pass the time. I kinda get the appeal. What else is there to do? If you didn't love getting shot so much, you wouldn't run around space shooting each other. If that's true, why did you come here to fight? If that's true, why did you come here? There's nothing left to fight over on Ares and for anyone. Give me one thing to do more fun than look in the mirror and get shot at. Oh my god, the flirting. Someone has to do the shooting. That tells me what position you favor, but it doesn't answer my question. She's so down bad. She's down so bad. I'm taking evasive maneuvers. If I dodge the next one, answer my question. She's so brat. I love her. I won't answer the first one, but I'll answer a different one. If you dodge. Saturn gets so quiet. She gets so still. Good girl! Yet her heart is thumping. Her reactor is thrumming with resonance. It's obvious Luna-Terra is sniping her from the tower, the city's last and tallest building. But now, suddenly, she isn't so sure. She isn't sure if she knows where Luna-Terra is, or if she knows anything about her at all. What did her face look like again? Hit. It's not that Saturn wasn't on the ready. She's baiting. She knows exactly what she's doing. Luna-Terra just guessed for the 1/2 second where Saturn wasn't ready and slipped her solid light bullet in that space. This is so horny. Onward, you didn't have to subscribe, but thank you. The shot lands right in her throat. For a moment, Saturn's just, I'm dead. But she's not. Then she hurts so bad she wants to die. My headache yesterday, that was me. I was, oh god, it sucked so bad. Slipping things in space and overwhelming their senses, maximum horny. The downside of being so familiar with the script is that the good girl is impossible to see coming. I'm sure everyone does it. if people don't do it. Oh, it was impossible to see coming. You couldn't have been prepared. Just like Luna-Terra. The 1/2 second when Saturn wasn't ready, I slipped it in. Good girl is a very Pluto remark. Well, I did kind of say it in the Pluto voice, so... I can't believe you gave my wife a rose, Nora. The The shot lands right in her throat. For a moment, Saturn's just, I'm dead. But she's not. Oh no, Nora has too many badges that doesn't show up. Then she hurts so bad she wants to die. But she's just mistaking the very different things than the string of pearls feels instead of that. It's not really pain, but it's a feeling so overwhelming it shuts Saturn down like pain would. It's fascinating, full of information, also relatable. Ah, you guys! Thank you! Ugh. I appreciate it a lot. I don't have any, like, sub things, like, yet, so, like, really, you're just doing this to make me flustered, and I love it, but... Oh, you could get a first badge. That's fair. I can. Nora, you know you can do emotes without being subbed, right? You could have done those before. Or are these, like... No, yeah, you could do those before. Anyway, thank you. Yeah, I noticed. I clicked on them to look. Because they're good emotes. Thank you for fucking with me. This is the game about fucking with girls, so, you know. Saturn could be good boyed. I could see that, actually. I could very much see that for her. Partially quoting a Hallie tweet. Oh, Luna-Terra, you're not doing a very good job of convincing me to not try and get shot. Mars, getting my hair scruffled and being called a good boy ironically by Pluto once in a while is okay. Saturn, boy is a gay word so I can use it and also it's hot. That's a very Lorelai sentence, too. I shan't imagine it. I shan't do it. They're both so right for this. They are both so right for this. I've heard that before too. You sure are having fun. What makes you think that? Want to know how I know? When correcting for gravity, the impression you leave in space feels a little for a second like... Well, someone might say it feels like an eye roll, but I think it's kind of like a giggle too. Yeah, they're fucking. That's all that's happening in this game. Gender is a game and you're a game designer unless I am a god and can do anything I want. Good. Maybe that counts as a hit. You don't win cat and mouse games by batting every time a head pokes out. Except somehow you do. You're good at making people not follow their own better instincts. I love how she's saying cat and mouse games, like the string of pearls isn't the cat and the mouse at the same time. You shouldn't be getting me to teach you to fight fair. You do much better like this. So many people playing the gender equivalent of D&D. Oh, you understand me. Thank you. Thank you for being on my side. My pronouns are ludonarrative dissonance. God! Lorelai! You keep that up, your pronouns are gonna be was, were. You shouldn't be getting me to teach you to fight fair. You do much better like this. On Sunday, I get to hit you with pronouns.mp3. Is it the first time we played since I violated myself? Oh, thank you. I don't fight fair because I have absolutely no idea how to fight. But this is why I hate you, Luna-Terra. You just don't get it. I want to beat you at something you're good at. You're really tough. Not your sniping, which can't stop me at all. But how you're totally impenetrable. You're doing something tricky. What are you doing? Saturn, you have definitely penetrated her. It's still my question, my hit. That's the rules. Why are you here? Firstly, because I refuse to ever be bored, just like you. Secondly, wiping that smug expression off your face is my deepest desire, so teach me how to weave through your fire and sink my claws in you. I've already forgot. Oh, yeah. Got it. Who the fuck is gonna change my pronouns to was and where I'm unbeatable? I mean, sometimes Never Legion is your weakness, and sometimes Novadora is your weakness. What's the third reason? Not telling. I already gave you one for free. Nice dodge. Also, I go back and forth on your are you sure you're impenetrable joke? As you should. My question then. Dodge a real one first. Luna-Terra fires and Saturn leaps forward directly into it. The bullet misses, her tail sparks, and she thrusts through the atmosphere. How's that? Good work. But you have to keep it up. Luna-Terra lands a bullet straight through her legs and Saturn crumples. Oh my god, you fucking shot her in the pussy. What's wrong with you? Oh wait, through her leg. No, her legs. Got it. I thought it said between her legs. I can read, I promise. The moment her limbs heal, Saturn leaps again. She's ready for the next bullet, but not the one behind it. But that one's a clean shot, right through her. No stopping power at all, and she leaps through again and is gone in the rubble before Luna-Terra can land another shot. Reasonable assumption. Yeah. Is it that more dodges or more hits? Counterpoint, here's my opinion on getting shot so far. It fills my brain with overwhelming information and barely stops me from doing anything at all, because I'm in control of an impossible space war machine. So, can you actually say you've really hit me? Flawed argument. Really disappointing, and I was expecting a lot better. This is what happens when I'm not here to moderate. No, this game is just so horny. I can't not do it. This game awakens something in me. Shoot me harder, nerd. Saturn. Yeah. Am I losing? Can I ever lose, no matter how much you shoot me? I don't think so. I don't actually think so. This machine is never going to lose. You can pin me down. You might be so much better than me, then I couldn't beat you in a million years. But I will keep trying and beat you with dumb luck. I'm spending bees now, I guess. Thank you for the 100 bees. I will squirrel them away for later. Yeah, I didn't get to fuck around with channel points or anything. And I would like to pay people for emotes, so haven't gotten around to that because I just set this up this morning. No, channel points are not money. Also, you shouldn't be giving me money. First of all, it's just like chat interaction, basically. Usually there's different stuff, and the too late fucker. Damn, you got me. But they're very customizable, and I haven't customized them yet. Maybe that is true. You never hit me. Why are you here? Did you know that there's a theory that ship selves can't actually be destroyed? You can break as much of them as you want, but the gravity engine will always pull it back into shape. Yeah. Yes. They can be used to unlock emotes without payment, or they can be used to trigger stream stuff with the right integrations. There's things I want to do. Help, I'm being harassed. Get your mods. Who do you think is doing the harassment? Exactly. This is what mods are for. They're for bullying me. And that's about it, really. Because usually I'm able to just do things from my phone. As long as you're sufficiently tenacious, you can survive anything and try again until you get it right. Thank you for, kin assigning me Halamede. So you do get what this machine is for. My least favorite person in the world came up with that theory, and this is the ship self to test it. So naturally, I know all about it. I would never alter your pretty. You bully me all the time. I feel like I'd have to apologize if I fucking kidded you, Holly. Well, you know. I feel a lot of characters that are very relatable in this game. I think I'm leaning Pluto though. But I also haven't played Pluto yet. So But it's true that no one has died. That's what they get to say, that there's still no warrant. That's why they get to say that there's still no warrant space. Dodging my question again? Yeah, saying I'm pretty is a very quick way to bully me. It works. It works real well. I've never bullied anyone in my life. You know that's a lie. I'm not a Holly apologist, but calling her a Holly, someone a Halligan is an insult. Oh my god. I love this game. But in practice, wrecking a ship self until both the pilot and the ship give up is indistinguishable. A Lorelei. Yeah, it is the exact. No, you're right to read it that way. It is exactly the same as Luna-Terra has never betrayed anyone in her entire life. Halamede is the niece of our Luna-Terra's handler, and is apparently a Jedi. Because you can become so broken, continuing is impossible. Even if they can't kill you, you can be changed. You think you can do that to me? Or is that what you want to have happen to you? So she's the worst? No, I mean, I don't know. I don't know much about her yet. Europa's niece, Luna-Terra's ex, the princess in ostensible command of a Memorial Foundation, and a completely pathetic loser with inferiority complex, including the worst positive. So yeah, like, I don't know. I don't think it's that bad to kin assign me her, honestly. Is she also Pluto's sister? Jedi or bad, Lily? I don't know anything about Star Wars. I brought this up earlier. I just know that Jedi can do things with psychic powers. That's all. When I played Scum and Villainy, I made my mystic gambling obsessed magic bunny. Oh, Trident's sister. Okay. I see, I see. They brought up her and Pluto in the same sentence, and I was, but if it would, she just went to the same school as Pluto, probably, because she moved the thing. her sister isn't named, but you can figure it out based on the hand-me-down mecha name. Yeah. Even if they can't kill you, you can be changed. You think you can do that to me, or is that what you want to have happen to you? I have to people who have much more fun with this than you do. Triton's name's only implied, not specifically stated. That makes sense though, right? Because otherwise it would be like Neptune, which it can't be. It can't be Neptune. Or something. This don't call it a war is nothing but play fighting. As ever, Sus is a much faster typer. We got a fucking stenographer in chat. All it takes is someone not playing along to ruin it all. A solid light slug passes so close to Saturn's head the heat chars her face black, but it's not a hit. She's incremented to the left 0.05 seconds before impact. Oh, you are good. Whoa, that's not Luna-Terra's voice. Karlach would be good to put in this game. I mean, is Karlach not Pluto? Oh, you are getting better. It's definitely my question now. I'm still answering. That theory has not been disproven. It's more than likely true. I just want my life to not explode. You didn't say cool beans during your name change and made a stenographer type it? Aww. I believe that Karlach is too nice for this game. I don't know, again, I haven't played Pluto yet, but Pluto hasn't seemed that bitchy to me yet, so... this is a Shadowheart game, points drastically at Luna-Terra. Anything associated with wizards is not cool enough to be involved with worse girls. They're operating in different planes. I wouldn't say anything. It's more than likely true. We're squirrels. They're so worse. Yeah, side eyes myself. I was gonna say, but I didn't want to say it. Nora, as soon as Lorelei met her, Zio was like, I have to show this person to Lily immediately. Comparing Shadowheart to Luna-Terra has made me very, very interested in her. I mean, I only know things secondhand about Shadowheart, but I do know that she is bitchy. She is full of trauma. And I am so fucking attracted to her. Oh my god, she's so sexy. And again, this is me incomplete knowledge of both characters. But this is something you should know first. Your body can't be killed or destroyed, but it can be changed. When you are hit, truly hit, you're bent into a different kind of shape, and through that you can change. I think you should ask yourself if you're ready for that before you say you want to play with me for real. Speaking from experience about that always bleeding wound on your ship self, it's not always a bad thing to change. She is not a 6'1" girl, I don't think. Well, actually, is she tall? She's a half-elf. You guys know better than me. I have not played the game. I don't know how tall Shadowheart is. She's not tall? Okay. Last one. If you can't dodge this, I don't think you're ready. Once again, Saturn feels Luna-Terra slipping away. She's not here. She's not anywhere. She never was. She absolutely has parts of her story that are transcoded, and I don't want to say that on stream, actually. I shouldn't spoil things. I shouldn't spoil things for people who haven't played a game that where this thing that I would have said is at the end. Shadowheart's sexy though. Once again, yeah, no, I heard that. Once again, it's my hit. Electricity explodes from the target point and connects back to the origin. It starts from where Luna-Terra is, and when it connects back to Saturn, fast as light, the course correction defines the pathway retroactively. Wow. I'm an idiot. This is great. You're not supposed to be ecstatic about someone getting the best of you. That's my move. Sorry. But I was condescending before. Next time we fight, it'll be for real. What if I don't want to fight? Then that'll be real too, then. Day 4. So, I have to ask, how do you really feel about me coming back to the Memorial Foundation? I love Saturn's pouty little friend. I love how pouty Saturn is as a resident pouty girl. I love pouty girls. You were a loyal and efficient ace pilot for Memorial Foundation for the entire Cold War against our alien and ultimately irrelevant existential threat from beyond the system. You can't just blast me like this on stream. Yeah, I'm so pouty. She says pouting. Whining and pouting. That's my version of kicking and screaming. You will drag me from here whining and pouting. Then you are perfectly loyal to the pilots left adrift by the decommissioning of the pilot program and colonization project. Now you're perfectly loyal to Memorial Foundation again. You haven't betrayed our side at all. That's a generous reading. You have betrayed plenty of love-struck pilots, but your political loyalty is impeccable. Oh, you hate to hear it. You've ghosted so many girls, but you know, you're so loyal to your fucking planet. So, even if Halamia doesn't trust or forgive you, I welcome your return. That's not going to be a problem. That she doesn't. That was Saturn's twink. Luna-Terra has, MILF that she DMs. Saturn's twin Ku is extremely trauma bonded to her. But you're so loyal to the neoliberals. Oh, she welcomes your return the most, but keep on your toes. That one I don't have any questions about. How come I don't have a MILF ID? I believe in you, Lorelai. You can make this a reality. You're the MILF. Congratulations. Congratulations. Speaking of giant robots, it's gonna be so fun to watch Ava with you. She's just an aunt rather than a mom. Well, you know, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Except if you're not still suspicious of me for betraying Memorial Foundation. How about her? Oh, I'll be mad at both of you about that for a very long time. Please don't worry about it. However, as you've both made each other suffer more than enough to make up for your youthful indiscretions. Honestly, the two of you hooking up to somehow get at me was the most hilarious part. As you ended up punishing each other more than I ever could have. One day I will be old enough and butch enough to be the next Europa. I am going to support you wholeheartedly in this endeavor. I believe in your butch transformation. Until then, I'll just obsess over her. Good. You girls were toxic as fuck. I didn't even have to yell at you. Shout out to Toxic Yuri, solving problems one day at a time. Can we talk politics again? Why does my niece call you baby girl? Can we talk politics again? I think I got the picture already. That's not to say that the two of you don't still have a lot of lessons left to learn from the experience. Once I'm sure you've learned them, your punishment will be over. I'm suddenly very interested in hearing about factions again. Oh, on that note, I'm not as worried. Just remain true to what you really believe in, Luna-Terra. God. Subject, Re. Declassified Records Leak. Operations Commander Europa. My kids are idiots, and also they're not my kids, and also they're not kids anymore. Please stop calling them your kids when they are my students. They are not my children. I am not being pedantic. I am not doing it to avoid being attached. I'm already more attached than is best. Don't encourage it. They're grown-ups. And also, fools. Mars is the most genius pilot, but she's just as much a fool as everyone else. She does nothing but cry and complain and win effortlessly like a real hero. If she was a boy, they would call her that, and you know, you wouldn't be asking me who the best pilot is. You just know. Only in space would that girl be allowed to be a hero. She deserves her moment in the sun. She might win the war for us single-handedly. Anything else that isn't her story will just be a blip of fate off in the sky. Rest easy, she's going to win the day. When the others interfere, they're not going to steer the course of the future any more than a little bit to the left or right of the course that Mars is sailing. I'm not going to interfere. Valuing their independence is important. They'll be adults soon, and then they won't be anyone's kids. Insist on the comparison, and it will become clear how far we are from fulfilling that role for them. For my part, I don't wish to forget there are limits to what we can do. Though, and who we can be. Though, yes, as a matter of fact, I am tired of them calling me Dad. Secular Astrology Explained, Part 1. Europa is such a dad. Origin, achieved message retrieval. Author, Pilot Mars. I don't know why you suddenly asked about this, and I'm not the person who knows anything about it, but sure, I guess. I learned all of this from Pluto, but you could have just asked her? Too nervous, huh? I wonder if that was implying Nyx was mommed if Europa was dadded. Yeah, probably. Too nervous, huh? I see right through you. Well, because I feel sorry for you, I'll tell you all about it. Venus, Luna-Terra, and Mars are the interpersonal distances. If Venus is the breath of the body and Mars is the blood, Luna-Terra is the flesh and represents skin-to-skin distance. That's why it represents family. The Earth and the Moon are different, but they're parts of the same thing. A two-in-one. Certainly, the Moon also represents something different, but that's also a part of us. When you think of it as a dark side, you forget that it's composed of your own same flesh. It's not your mirror, it's your back. Mars is beneath the skin distance, and that's blood, but it's also, well, the ways humans communicate, not skin to skin, but beneath skin to beneath skin. Get it? Don't make me spell it out. That's the reason for fucking and fighting to feel really similar sometimes. She admits it. Pluto said the other day, it's like you two only know that one language, and that's the only talking you ever do in it. The solar system maps out a human body, and by colonizing the planets, a greater human body will exist, with the sun as the inseparable totality of it all. That's the philosophical justification, but it's kind of romantic, right? Maybe it's kind of fake, though. Let's go talk to Pluto. Rift in the Earth. After her maiden voyage, Cradle's Grace is testing the finishing touches on the Chronmacula prototype. It's a chance for Luna-Terra to defeat their trump card, but will she close the rift between them instead, or only widen it deeper? Luna-Terra, cancel the launch. There are new orders. Really? I thought they were very insistent about this mission. And it's a good idea, so I thought I'd do it. The new orders are Cradle's Grace's super weapon has contacted the base already. Blah. Send anyone except for Luna-Terra there immediately. Oh, I see. Well, I'll prep the Mericrisium for launch. Luna-Terra, even if I have to say something, if you disobey an order right... Even I have to say something if you disobey an order right in front of my face. It's like, wait, we can't let her talk to Pluto. They're gonna kiss. No, 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 no. Don't do that. But you don't disagree? Or if you just stop me instead of saying something? The ex of my ex is my enemy? A certain degree of questioning orders from the top is allowed. Given who's in charge, obviously. My ex does not get to be happy. Palamute is just a foolish princess. If Cradle's Grace is using that new weapon, all the more reason not to send randos who wouldn't stand a chance against it. You fundamentally misunderstand Memorial Foundation, Luna-Terra. Palamute leads the recovery effort because no one else is fit. Only that naive, conceited, foolish girl has the love required to bring humanity back to Earth. Naive, one-sided, and unself-aware love. Nevertheless, that is exactly the love that is required. It's for us to interpret the fundamental impulse in a way that will ensure strategic advantage. So I will ask you, does love motivate your actions? Or are you just that eager to find someone to shatter you into orbit? Your connection with that pilot, and don't think I don't know about it, or who she is. Which is it? Guilt or love? They really just did just ask if one of the scientists that made Legion was a MILF. She is not. The scientist that made Legion is actually the shittiest man in the world. In this game. Celestial Mechanics is absolutely the... We're kissing Pluto, Theo. Hi, 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 hi. Welcome. I'm so glad you could actually make it this time. We just did the one that we just did the one with Saturn where they were shooting at each other and it was good. What if they were both about a lot of characters? Oh, you're on a train. Where are you going? Or are you going to work? Also, good morning. I hope your morning is good. I hope you had some breakfast. Your connection with that pilot, I don't think I know about it, or who she is. Which is it? Guilt or love? Will you let me go if I say I need to see her now? To know? Are you doing this out of unresolved trauma or because you actually care? Oh, you're going to brunch. Oh. I would advise against it. Her love might be stronger than ours. That's possible. All the more reason you shouldn't get near it. Pluto's love is stronger. It's her gravity. Well, let me take that risk. Make up and forget. The balance shifts because Luna-Terra didn't hesitate and neither did Pluto. Fourth planet from the sun, Ares, romantic red planet. It was the first planet the space colonization program wanted to make ours. Just like everything else about her, her love is so big. Yeah, I like Pluto a lot. It was the first planet the space colonization program wanted to make ours, and they wanted it to be so beautiful. Did they get their wish? It was a beautiful dream, but still a dream. By the time Earth had demanded the space program pull back, they were stuck, still halfway there after so many years. Yet, getting halfway there got them something beautiful, even if it wasn't enough. I love her impossibly massive and powerful and tender girlfriend. Me too. Where life grows, and it doesn't grow most places, it's in a spring yellow-green that could never quite get to summer. Tenacious weeds spread all over the planet that will never be called Mars, and even they can barely breathe. Only stubbornness keeps life on Aries, and they would not even be able to endure if Cradle's graces didn't patiently tend to them. This music is so good! Sorry, I think this might be my favorite track. Trans rights. Only stubbornness keeps life on Aries, and they would not even be able to endure if Cradle's graces didn't patiently tend to them. They spew pollen uselessly into the air, and between them and the too thin atmosphere, breathing, where it's possible, is hard. The fate of the fourth planet from the sun, even prettier now, and just as useless to humans. Pluto has flown past the canyon she's concealed in 3 times already. It's been a perfect shot, every time. At noon, even with the sun shining directly on her, the flowers and weeds and their pollen keep her hidden. Should Luna-Terra squeeze the trigger or not? And what else is Luna-Terra supposed to do? How can she dare to take that shot with Pluto looking so beautiful? How can she not? Why is she trembling like that? Does she know? No, Luna-Terra realizes she's the one trembling. If you can stop me, I'll believe in you. I'll give up on everything, but I know you trust me too much. Pluto said that. She might even be saying it right now, knowing that Luna-Terra has the perfect shot. Trembling? Pretty fruity. It's true. Well, that's cause, Macula big. Oh, it's hard to place it on the soundtrack because of the loop. That makes sense. You need your big emote. So true. If you're not sure if you're right, I'll be the one to test it. I believe we can have a home in space, and there's no way to bring that back to Earth. You believe we can bring home to Earth, and there's no way to happen in space. I believe in us. We'll figure it out. Yet, it's impossible for Luna-Terra to look at Pluto and the Crone Macula, big as a universe, and think it's better for her to not have that. For Luna-Terra to keep thinking, I'm freeing her from something terrible and bringing her home. So Luna-Terra fires. Before she has a chance to decide whether or not to fire, she pulls the trigger. Without considering or having a chance to choose one way or another, her body seizes the opportunity, makes the decision for her. The one they agreed to, without doubt. Love how messy and political their relationship is. This outcome's really good. It's very Luna-Terra. Good. Luna-Terra will betray herself every time. Pluto's exposed left tidal reactor shudders and shakes. Oh, I should have seen that coming, shouldn't I? The resulting tidal resonance will be catastrophic unless she shuts both reactors off and reboots instantly. She does, of course, and worries about the ship and the whole world and Luna-Terra and doesn't hesitate. Even if that's clearly the plan, the minute she'll take rebooting will have her plunging into the ground and maybe too damaged to power back on. Pluto LT was scientifically designed in a lab to drive you fucking insane. Saturn Pluto was scientifically designed in a lab to drive me fucking insane. I also like Saturn LT. Okay, it is fog screen. Cool. It's very, very, very good. And so, Luna-Terra dashes to catch her before that. Oh, I think it's candy time. You're the target for Saturn LT. I am also the target for Saturn LT. But from Saturn's perspective. Can confirm you're all insane. Pluto is the girlfriend ever. The fucking Saturn-Pluto relationship twist at the end where Pluto's like, oh, I knew you were playing a role the whole time. It was very cute. Yeah! Yeah! Oh, I love when people just see right through your facade and just hate you straight in it. It's a cough drop, but cough drops are candy to me. Luna-Terra dashed a sketcher before that. Again, Luna-Terra is the last to know. She's doing it before she decided if she could commit or not. If she should do it or not. A coward who cannot commit at heart at least commits to not committing. Yuri is my job is good. Wata Yuri, good. You're the target for Neith. Wherever they are, whatever they are. You can't even make I think I have COVID jokes with this stream. It's horny. No, you're right. It's okay. I didn't do the one where the mechs are frauding this time, unfortunately. I mean, you just have to spell it right, and I know you don't mean you actually have COVID. You gotta find VODs. I can post the screenshot. Wait, actually, hold on. I've got a link. You can also play the game yourself. It's very good. Here it is. Without thinking about how contradictory or ridiculous it is. Pluto's comms are off, so she doesn't have to yell at Luna-Terra about why this is so stupid, or how she needs to grow up, or do anything but fall and be secretly happy she's still charmingly stupid. The Maricrisium looks very funny, trying to catch a ship this much bigger than her. Her engines flare, strain, start to break from trying to slow the fall. Her wound bleeds freely. A tattered, tangled mess, falling down too hard, crumples in the weeds of Ares, nestles at the canyon bottom. It may not be a livable planet, but it's a soft one. It's hard to breathe for very long, but it feels nice to lie in, ship or body. Sometimes it feels like nothing could be worth giving up a ship, but this isn't so bad. So, my question is, she was in the ocean, right? She was in the oxygen ocean when she talked to Saturn. Does it make more sense to do Pluto LT or Pluto Saturn when you're playing as Pluto here? Like, which makes more sense to do first? It may not be a livable planet, but it's a soft one. It's hard to breathe for very long, but it feels nice to lie in, ship or body. Sometimes, it feels like nothing could be worth giving up a ship, but this isn't so bad. Luna T? Luna T, are you awake? Yeah, everything hurts a lot. They tested before they went into the ocean, so LT and then Saturn. I guess that makes sense. See, I was kind of thinking it would be Saturn LT. Pluto cradling her. Oh, it's so good. I wish sometimes I could, like, turn off the dialogue box so turn off the dialogue box so it's a little easier to see the backgrounds, but this is very good. Everything hurts a lot. I gave you some painkillers. Do you need any more? I can't fly on them. You're not gonna fly without them either. Luna-T, your engines are melted. Run macula lap pillow. We're always saying this. Oh, right. I thought I did something stupid, but I couldn't remember what it was. Sorry, no turning off the dialogue box. In this game, you can only turn things on. Like buildings or people. Oh right, I thought I did something stupid, but I couldn't remember what it was. Sounds like the story of LT's life. Yeah. I thought I did something stupid, but I couldn't remember what it was. Turns on lamp. Oh yeah. That was fun. Backfire Wall is a very fun game. Every time you turned on a lamp in that game, the lamp would moan. Except for one single lamp, which just turned on. It was a breathtaking sequence of poor decisions. But when I said I wouldn't be satisfied or forgive you until I fought you on Ares, I meant when I kicked your butt. Kicking your own butt doesn't count. Pluto's so good. As usual. Sorry. Do you want me to move? I don't think it was the prime button. I think it's because you've got the mod one and the first one and the gifted one. The rose is good. I made that. Why? Do you want to get up? Waking up with my head in your lap feels like you're rewarding me for shooting you down. You can be mad if you want. That's the one thing. This is another. There's just nothing else you can do. Nothing else to do with you. You did the right thing, or tried to. And then you did the right thing again, or tried to. Aww, welcome back. You wanted to do the best thing for you and me, but you couldn't decide what it was. There's nothing I can say to that, and it's already done, so just lie there already. I might not get another chance, you know? You can hold so much. I'm in awe every time. You're the size of the universe. You see everything and everyone, and you hold all of it. Everything's precious. Everything's worthy of you. I'm not. I can't. I'm small. I'm small and scared. Smaller and more scared than you. Don't say I'm not. Okay. I won't. Never again. I'm sorry. You're small. You're just you, after all. You have to mean it. You're huge to me, okay? That's okay. I should be. Oh, the wiki has them? That's good. I hear everyone and I can't ignore it. It feels like I'll die if I do. It hurts too bad. I listen to your voice more than any other. Your heart is more important to me. Isn't that proof I'm selfish too? She's so me. It's fucking stabbing me. Supremely Vista coded. Yeah. Pluto's great. But I am going to fight with everything I have for those voices, even against you. Nora, so, the new types, or the new type analog in this game, they can see the narrative and interact with it. Which is weird and cool and awesome, and I love it. Pluto is so great. But I'm going to fight with everything I have for those voices, even against you. I just know that no matter what, we're not going to get what we want. If I let myself slip, I'll trust in your future instead. I know we can't beat Memorial Foundation. So, I can't afford to blame you. I can't do anything if I can't trust you. Oh my god, Pluto's still treating LT like she never left Cradle's graces. Ugh. It's like, you betrayed us. You betrayed us, but I still trust you, and also you'll never, no, my brain stuttered. But like, Pluto is like, you're still part of my life, and that means you're still part of Cradle's graces, because my life is Cradle's graces. It's good. She's still trusting Luna-Terra to prove her wrong and try to save her. I love Pluto! Okay, Nora, have fun to being sad and gay. But try not be a sad. It's way easier to hate me. It's what normal people do. Homophobic! It's okay, you got back just in time for LT to be like, normal people hate me because I'm so tall and sexy. And fucked up because I live in space and I can't come back to Earth even though I was born on Earth. I love not giving you that satisfaction, LT. And you really should give up on me ever being satisfied with happiness just for me. Sure, sure. I know as well as you, there's no welcome waiting for us on Earth. I don't know if we will be happy there, but I couldn't live there without... Well, if you get a miracle, I won't fight that either. My heart isn't big, but if you've ruined Memorial Foundation, I'll forgive you. I mean, who wouldn't? I too want to be free of Earth. To be free of 9.8 meters per second squared forever. Are you really sure? I think even that victory will be impossible even if we win it. I almost said the velocity. But maybe you actually have more faith in me? I think we might not make a happier world. You'd fight if we could win, vibe. Yeah. But you can learn how to be happy and— oh, wait, that's— God, I did it again. First I do it with Saturn, now I do it with Pluto. But you can learn how to be happy anywhere, even Earth. On Earth, we were all tied down by the weight of the world. I won't go back to that, even if I go back to work. Back to Earth. There are two ways to do that. Make a home where we set the rules. Or bring a new law of gravity back home. If only all of us were as precious and powerful as a planet. But I can take the shape the world requires of me, if that's all we get. That's not true. For you especially, that isn't true. You were the one who didn't let Earth's gravity choose your body. I wouldn't have been able to choose if you hadn't shown me. They're so transgender! That's a victory they can't take back from us. Rescue will be here soon. That line was so fucking good. You're almost a real adult, Luna T. Luna-Terra, actual canonical trans icon for all the trans girls in space. It's good. She's good. I wish I was as close as you. Despondent instantly. September 12th, 1963. That's when the first and last artificial colony of the native sphere was completed, in a tranquil bowl of stable gravity at Lagrange point 5. Baby Pluto looking at LT like, I want to be human like that. You can't do this to me. As the front line against existential threats, a training facility for a generation of humans adapted to fight in space, as a colony environment with the life, gravity, and culture necessary for human beings to live, thrive, die, and be born, with the hope that peace on Earth would reign if we won this war in heaven. Without pressure, water boils off our tongues and we dissolve into component parts. Without culture, we forget our shapes we're supposed to have and turn inside out into something else. Out of necessity, we created a pressurized environment, exerting enough gravitational pressure to maintain cohesion in all senses in space. A ship self-nefarious through the world. They function only in places where the gravity of humans is too light to sustain existence. It was doomed from the start. Of course they were jealous. Of the humans the Earth no longer wanted, flying on zero-G wings. Dr. Nix, Executive Director, Memorial Foundation Existential Expansion. July 29th, 1958. That's when the Memorial Foundation International Executive Committee was granted international authority in the spirit of a unified human peace and the verified presence of an existential threat outside of the solar system to establish a cultural, military, and scientific response to existential threats, no longer confined to Earth, a growing native sphere where gravity reigns forever. Safety, research, and expansion. The three pillars of Memorial Foundation's space branch will protect Earth from without as it has from within. Freed from the old world's gravity, it would be possible to advance science, art, and culture without constraint and join hands. All of Earth, finally unified. For Memorial Foundation, protecting humans from other humans through peace on Earth and protecting humans from everything else through war in heaven would fulfill both of our agendas simultaneously. We really foolishly decided we could do better. There are two errors to this approach. The first is that to do better in heaven is meaningless if it cannot be exported to Earth. The space program was never rejected by the surface. It simply did not have enough relevance to sustain interest. The second error is the intrinsic error of Memorial Foundation. The existential threat is intrinsic to humanity. You can fight it, but you cannot cut it out. The designation of alien is required by humans. We cannot trick an existential threat into a convenient manifestation. As it has always been, only humans can fulfill the criteria to be alien. Europa, Chief Officer, Memorial Foundation, Existential Safety. January 2nd, 1980. That's when they blew up the Lagrange colony. It was a real shame. It was green, wet, and a very peaceful place. Now it's a very cold, green, wet, and a very unsettling place. It's where we did a lot of legitimately incredible things, like create sustainable tidal reactors, new culture, experiment with human bodies and human development. Manufacture self-sufficient alter egos for space exploration, and did everything other than successfully combat the unknowable existential threat. Earth and the Memorial Foundation surface considers that a failure, but in truth, they're just not trying hard enough. Through gravity, humans decide what is real and what is not. Humans cannot make whatever they imagine come true. Through imagining, humans chart out what is true. They invent, with human effort, what exists. If an existential threat doesn't exist, we just have to make one. But of course it doesn't work like that. Nothing could be more difficult than creating something alien. Our only reference points are humans, so the idea of something alien is unimaginable, because we cannot imagine outside of those terms. There's a certain degree of misunderstanding we needed for humans to successfully classify something as alien, but before they blew it up, we got very close. Iapetus, Executive Director, Memorial Foundation Existential Research. Fuck that guy. Receiving report. Provisional acceptance of pilot mission completion. Incoming alert. All Memorial Foundation troops. Abandon Ares frontline. All units immediately rendezvous with main fleet at the Pilot Academy Lagrange colony on the way to the Celestial Mechanics moon base. Generating new assignments. Provisional assignment. Special operations mission. Secure Lagrange colony as a possible launch point for Celestial Mechanics hidden run tactics. Provisional assignment. Special operations mission. Destruction of the obsolete Academy research technology before it falls into the hands of Cradle's graces. Provisional assignments will reduce your penalty status. Indicate you have understood new orders. Yes. Ready for gravitational catapult. Prepare launch to Lagrange point 5. Fuck you, Avidus, and fuck Juno Magus, and thank heaven their creations ended up so good instead. That's right. Do we get along better or worse than back then? Let's talk about something else. Oh, is it really so bad these days? We don't get along because we're too much like each other. We used to be so different. What happened? I got older, and I learned a lot. That's enough to make me more like you. You're not giving me enough credit. Really? Do you think I'd blame you at being too good at teaching me the same lessons that made you who you are? Well, I'd always hoped. I'd blame you if I felt like it. There's nothing to blame you for. Nothing you warned me about turned out like you said, so I stopped paying your attention to any of your advice. I thought I was too smart for the rest. It's just a coincidence we ended up like each other. I never minded your lessons. Are you sure? I was a harsh teacher. Are you really glad for it? I am happy for everything I learned. Not for everything you taught me. I mean, it wasn't like you were wrong. Everything you said would happen, happened. But none of it happened like you said it would. If I followed your advice to the letter, it wouldn't have helped me at all. It was all just different enough. So I came up with my own answers. It wasn't until I looked back on them that I realized it was exactly what you would have done. Fair, I suppose. I should count that as a success for me. But also do your effort for you. That's just what I wanted, though. I certainly never wanted a carbon copy of myself. I wanted you to improve on what you'd been handed. Did you think you did it? Did you think you did a good job? Shouldn't you be asking yourself that question, since you're the one in charge of the education? I was afraid you'd say that. Don't come to me for answers now, of all times. Well, at least there's plenty of time left for me to turn out right in the end. Shout out to LT for hanging up that time. Secular Astrology Explained Part 2. I only did this because you asked, okay? I warned you, this is dorky stuff. The ancient roots of it are pretty dubious, in case you were wondering. I think most of it is just made up. I mean, yes, I know that it's all made up, but not even made up by some wise man 1,000 years ago. It's made up by some dude in California. Anyway, what the dude from California does is he organizes parts of the body into the parts of the mind and spirit, and he says what you should do is think about your body not as a body, but as a tool for relating to other people. I know they draw them on a body, but it's like, you don't think of them as actual body parts. It's the way that you communicate. So this chart may help. I think the point of it, in a way, is to remember that these are all parts of you, also parts of other people, and you have ways of communication between each other using them. People always ask me for their charts because they want to be flattered about what they're good at, but that's not the point. You need to know where you have trouble, too. I looked at mine so much right before we broke up, you know? Like it did any good, but, you know, I'm so weak when it comes to Venus. That's the distance of breath, which means ability to read the atmosphere, and talking, the way you communicate through breath. When you're bad at Venus, that doesn't mean you're bad at words, but you're bad at receiving words. You don't hear them, or you don't feed other people the words they need to live. Well, according to your chart, you're bad at that too, so hope it helps. Really good post you read months and months ago about Europa and Luna-Terra and the passing down of butchness that you really want to find again. Oh, that sounds so good. Diegetic typos. Hell yes. Subject: Pilot Halamede Annual Report. Second generation pilot program declassified. Whoa. I just moved the whole desk instead of me. Allie mentioned Dr. Nix. She's not coming out of her room. Refuses to pilot it. Figures the most well-behaved of all Generation 2 pilots would have a tantrum like a storm when it finally came. Do you expect me to know what to do about it? Yes. It's really your problem, though, isn't it? Don't start. I'm begging. Fine, fine. What's the big problem, then? She'll get over it. Is she upset about her sister? Of course she is, but not for the reason I thought. What did you think? That she missed her. Hilarious. What's the actual reason? She won't accept a hand-me-down. The low sulky? She won't pilot it? She won't pilot the perfect second-generation machine because it was made for her sister? She wants her own machine made. She's ridiculous. She said it would be fine if she died, but if it's just because she flaked out and got bored with space and left her problem in Halamede's lap, she won't do it. Are siblings really this petty and mean? Stop laughing and help. Sulky is the only way we can guess her sister's name. Is that one of Neptune's moons? Only Child Nyx is so good. It's feature on Trident. Cool. Nice. I mean, clearly Europa has a sister. Or something. Oh. I love that the Pluto one is called Look at Me. Directly targeted at me. Good. I think I only have time for one more, so let's do the Pluto one. Look at me. The Cold War is long over, and the existential threat is gone, but its memories stir here. At the observatory. Will it be put to rest here, or buried forever? Implication, Pluto wrote "look at me" into the narrative there. Yeah, I absolutely believe that. That is really good too. Really, 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 really good. I like Pluto a lot. You're quiet, Europa. What's up? Is that unusual? Sometimes, but you said I have a briefing for you 5 minutes ago. Oh, it seems I've lost track of time again. But don't you already know what the mission is? Close the lens and prevent Cradle's graces from opening it further. For the purpose of... who knows? Memorial Foundation on the ground wants it done. It was the observation device for existential threats, but in the end, we never knew if what we were seeing was what was there, or if we, the observers, were just seeing what we wanted to see. When it became clear that celestial mechanics had been pushing development in the direction of things that they did not themselves understand, we chose to destroy the colony. Later works of the Space Colony era showed signs of an art and design movement potentially hazardous and implicitly treacherous to the human race. But very lovely. I wish we hadn't caught on so quick. Memorial Foundation on Earth would be loath to admit it, but it's possible it did, and does, in fact work in one or more ways. Casts it all in a new light, doesn't it? I didn't expect you to feel so nostalgic. I have some happy memories of the Academy, don't you? Europa being sympathetic here means a lot to you? Yeah. Yes, some. But I'd rather move forward in any way at all than keep dwelling. That's always a virtue, if you have learned from it. And you're not just trying to forget. Keep your advice to the mission, and not me. Well, I only have an interest in the success of one of those two things. The gate collapses in nostalgia and disaster. It all goes wrong almost immediately. They both should have known better. The observatory looked small from the Academy gardens, but up close is big enough to lose the two of them in. Europa feels very resigned to playing the Neolib game with just a glimmer of hope that maybe others will figure out an alternate future. It's good. It sucks, but it's good, and it's so real, and I hate it, and it's good. A telescope of a certain kind for observing a threat that was entirely existential and possibly not real, and maybe a weapon too. Wait. You're saying this game might be political? Maybe a weapon that worked so well. It destroyed humanity's enemies before we could even prove we were there. Feels very like her and Luna-Terra to some extent, or Neolib line because they think that's the winning side and it's easier to work within it than die pointlessly. Right, well, okay, so like that's what a lot of people think, right? You stick with the system that has been in place because one, people are scared of change. And two, a lot of people can't actually imagine, or not even can't, they haven't been able to, like, conceptualize what a better world looks like because they don't have the words for it. Yeah, and assimilation can seem like the right call when you're really scared. Like, I'm not going to say assimilation is good because it's not. It's a safety mechanism, but it's a temporary one. You're safe until you're consumed. Forget all of the implication stuff. How can you even imagine an alternative? Yeah, exactly. Right? Like, people truly cannot wrap their heads around the world being different. And in a way that's by design, right? If you can't imagine the world being different, you can't fight for the world to move towards that as well. And it's what... people miss the forest for the trees, when the process is just as important, right? Like, you have to have an endpoint, but you also need to, like, start moving towards it. And it's hard to see the goalposts in between. Yeah, it's hard. It's easier to imagine the world ending than capitalism ending. It's very much true. Like, I'm so ready to play Armor Stir. I know. For a lot of people, everything is set in stone. And not even just set in stone, but so set in stone that what do you mean it could be different? Then Gwyn drops in with the "so too did the divine right of kings." Yes, exactly. Oh my god, the quote is so good. Like, right? People couldn't imagine that would end. Like, but it did. And, like, obviously, we live in a spot where, like, better than feudalism, but, like, people are still extremely exploited for the benefit of few. It's, like... It's difficult. It's always been like this is such a powerful statement. And the worst part is it's never true. There's never been an always. The world is always changing. Nothing has been set in stone before, and it won't ever be again. But so ready to play Calliope. I don't know what a better world looks like. I just know the fascists need to die. Yeah. Oh, Well, also, like, Calliope is, like, the person who is fully on board doing violence if other people figure out how to make a better world possible off the back of that violence, you know? Like, Z is selfish and brutal and divisive and fractious and but still is dedicated to fighting for a thing. And like, I think about Calliope growing up in a place where people work in office buildings under the water and don't get to see the sun. And I think about how that, combined with living in a city where fear itself is worshipped, and what that does to someone. And obviously play to find out what happens, but like, I can absolutely see Calliope going, I turned out fine, when absolutely that is not true. Oh God, I can't wait to play Armor Stir. I should probably play Heaven Will Be Mine first. Calliope did not turn out fine. Yeah, you need both. I am going to punch fascists in the face people and the people who quiet and carefully build up little communities and alternatives to the status quo. Yeah, dual power is like one of the most interesting and important concepts I like have read about in terms of like systematic change. Because like, once you make it so people don't have only one option and they're forced to use what, like, the resources that are forced upon them. Once you free people up from that, they're able to do a lot. And I think that dual power is like a very, very, very important concept, that you have to both be doing the work, like, to create systems that are divested from the, not society, but like, oh God, why am I not forgetting words? Or why am I forgetting words? Yeah, maybe be careful about smashing the machine, because there are a lot of people in the gears right now. That's a really good way of putting it. Like, you have to build alternate, like, people need food, people need water, people need electricity, people need internet at this point. And if you don't have people building alternatives to that, it's going to make that transition a lot harder. And like, giving communities something to lean on when they're not, like, when they have to break off of what they're used to is just very, very, very important, and something I really want to read more about. And like, it's one of the things that ideally I would like to participate in. Because I'm doing fuck all of my engineering degree right now. I might as well put it to use at some point, right? And I don't know. Calliope, people in the gears are complicit, Vex. Oh my God, Z's rough place to be. It all goes wrong almost immediately. They both should have known better. The observatory looked small from the Academy gardens, but up close it's big enough to lose the two of them in. A telescope of a certain kind, for observing a threat that was entirely existential and possibly not real. And maybe a weapon too. Maybe a weapon that could work so well it destroyed humanity's enemies before we could even prove they were there. That's why Z has no friends. Oh. Now, even the intellectual curiosity that isn't worth keeping it open. There's too many enemies, real and existential, on Earth to worry about ones elsewhere. The mission wouldn't have become such a disaster so quickly if the two of them had just fought face to face. If they hadn't been a little awkward still after Ares. If there wasn't still so much past to fight. No. My phone wasn't charging, that's rude. Phone swap. I dream of a society where I would be guillotined as a conservative. Oh wow, that is a powerful quote. The mission wouldn't have become such a disaster so quickly if the two of them had just fought face to face. If they hadn't been a little awkward still after Ares. If there wasn't still so much past to fight. The one known and guaranteed function of the observatory, and its lens that sharpens gravity into a laser-sharp gaze, as it brings time to you before you're ready for it. Luna-Terra knew she'd never be able to stop Pluto if she saw her face to face, so she went directly to close the observatory's lens. Pluto knew she wouldn't be able to stop her face to face, so she forced the eye to stay open with gravity alone rather than confront her. A stubborn, indirect fight, like two children pulling on a toy until they tear it in half. And that's what they did. Push, pull, tug, until the iris cracked, contracted, stalled, ground to a halt, exceeded its limits, and shattered and collapsed. These girls are so messed up about their relationship. That's Yuri! Even without the gravity of the colony's tidal reactor, there's enough gravity to, when condensed into a single point, cause disaster. Move, Pluto. We have to get out right now. Luna T, you idiot! Stubborn jerk! Mars was right about you. I told you I wouldn't budge. Why did you call my bluff like that? You're right. I'm an idiot. It's my problem, and it's all my fault, so move. My cores are desynchronizing. The gravity quake is destabilizing their tidal resonance, you jerk, so I can't move. Tantrum throwing Pluto is the best. Why did you keep pushing, knowing it was going to happen? I'm more stubborn than you. Always. No, 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 no. Not having it. You already said everything is your fault, so that is now true forever. Until the end of time, which this gravity quake is probably going to take us to. Fine. I'll place my reactor in resonance with yours to stabilize. And max thrust. And we'll get out of here. I love her so much. There's no way your ship has enough power to keep up. Then leave me. No, you need to live so I can keep yelling at you. Don't even think about not leaving with me. Blue cranky, good expression. Also her pout is amazing. Then let's do what I said in the first place. Get out of the observatory before it swallows us. Have you ever been in the epicenter of a gravity quake? Maybe it'll be fine. Don't you dare let that make you feel better. It shouldn't. The iris is shuddering and shattering and sparking. The tidal forces rock through them. Living in space means not having to know which way is up. But now they can't even tell when is up. Down and up and left and right are everywhere and nowhere, and the exit of the closing eye is forever out of reach of space and time. Insisting on keeping each other out alive out of stubbornness and argument, out of love and stubbornness and argumentativeness. Yeah, it's good. Where are you going? That's upside backwards. I can't steer. How can you? Here, fine. I'll guide you. Hold on, the pulse is still... That already happened. It's about to happen. It's happening right now. It might happen. It's continuing to happen. Luna-T, calm down. You know better than to be paralyzed by linear time like that. Just do it, whatever it happens to be, whenever it comes up. Forget the tense. If you're about to do it, you'll do it. If you've done it, it's done, and already have done it if you can't. So what's next? It's always the future in space. That's the point of coming to space. You go there when you want to be in the future, now. It is the world of will be and maybe to be. Never is or was. Reaching but never grasping. A future severed from the present that causes it. Light floods from the iris of the lens. Then it shuts. Then it shuts again. Many infinities to come. I'm Pluto. What's your name? Oh my god, she's so baby! It's Luna-Terra. I'm assigned to protect you. You're sweet, but so sad? I'm happy to meet you, but when I'm so happy you seem sad. Why is that? She's so baby and also very autistic about things. She looks like the eggiest egg I've ever seen in my life. Like, not to call her out, but I can see why seeing LT made her realize things. Oh no, sorry, that's super annoying. Dr. Nix keeps telling me people think it's rude when you just read the story off of them instead of asking them first. You're not supposed to be able to do that to me. Oh no, sorry, I'm excited, but do the happy things make you sad? Sometimes a little. I'm glad you're having fun, at least. I'll make sure you have fun too. I can share being happy, that's the function of love. Do you love me? Hi, nice to meet you. Do you love me? Yeah, you get it. Love makes the universe work. Do you know physics? You don't have to be jealous of me. You know everything I was given. You know, everything I was given. You deserve that too. I'll cut your old dead name out of the story, just like I did for me. Oh. And the subtext becomes text. Cutting her dead name out of the story. Oh. Focus, Luna-Terra. You have to be faster than thought. You have to feel. Trust your instincts. Cut through the edges of possibility space. Using her psychic narrative power to liberate LT. So good and cool and powerful. It's great. Luna-T, it's okay. It's hard. You don't have to cry. There's lots of us here. We can beat them together. This is a very We Know the Devil image too, which I think is very interesting. I don't know what to do. What they want is impossible, but I want it too. Why can't I just make it happen? I can see everyone's desires, but I can't just make it all fit. Oh, baby. Why can't I forgive them? Why can't this work? Why won't anyone help me? If only I was bigger, but I'm messing it all up. If only I wasn't here. Oh, when she was a baby, she wanted to be bigger, but now that she's big, she knows she's small and... Oh. Hey, did you know this game's written really fucking well? You're part of it. Don't erase yourself from the equation. You're the universe. They hate us. They'll never be happy in a universe where you're happy too. So let's run. If they don't want us to be a part of humanity, we don't need their Cradle either. Oh my god, did she name it? They're considering escalation of the conflict. Memorial Foundation wants to keep it an existential disagreement. But Earth wants to make it military. I guess we weren't human enough to be wanted on Earth, but we're human enough to be dealt with the way that humans do. The better we do against Memorial Foundation, the more it pushes them to write us off against a lost cause and prevent the complications we cause here by killing us. You were so hard on them before. Forgiving your enemies is good. It's cruel to take us back, but they're trying to protect us, and they're the only ones who understand how hard it is. We knew we couldn't escape Earth's gravity, and I guess they know it too. If it's a war with no point, and they don't even have to worry. Is the chance worth it? Luna-Terra leaving to try and balance the conflict and paradoxically giving them more of a fighting chance. Oh. I don't know. Where would you bet? On them. You should go. No, not without you. No, dummy. Go so you can save me if I mess it up. And I'll stay in case you do. I don't trust them, but I trust you. Whichever of us is right will deliver the other the future. Oh. Light blows through the iris, fragments, and the universe exists again. A place and a time clinging to each other in that place are Pluto and Luna-Terra, touching to remember they're alive. Broken, but alive. They're so good. I love them so much. I love Pluto. I love Pluto. I love Pluto. Pluto, are you okay? Of course not. We almost were swallowed up by time and space, and I almost lost you again. And I had to go through it all again. Everything. Me too. It was hard. It was so hard, but we did it. We messed up. There's no fixing it. But who cares? You're still here. I'll still fight you. Till the end. But just so I can know it's for real. So you can stay like this for a little, if you want to. It is absolutely broken forever, Jupiter. Oh. Yeah. Alright, I think this is where I'm going to stop for the night.